Okay, so it is 8:01. I'm going to get rolling here so we can stay on track tonight. We are recording. If anybody jumps in and we hear noise, I will do my best to manage that and make sure that we're muted. But I'm going to try to keep this to about 27 minutes. If you guys have questions, let me know. We can always follow up later. But first and foremost, happy Tuesday, happy Thanksgiving week. I hope you guys are excited to celebrate the holiday. Major kudos to corporate for what they strung together Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. How much fun has that been with new releases every single day? I love when they do stuff like that. I think as reps, it's a really neat thing to recognize that they do, just because it helps our business and it helps our customers. So that has been so fun. And tomorrow I think is going to be pretty good. There's been a couple of sneak peeks. I don't know if you guys saw them, but it has me very excited. So, okay, let me get started. So my name is Leah. I have been with Zaya Active since March of last year. So I don't know, probably, what is that, over 18 months. I was introduced by one of my best friends, Ellie Krieger, actually. She is my upline. And tonight at 8:30, if you guys are Central Time, right after I finish up talking a little bit about numbers and compensation, Amy Ward is going to talk about time management and best practice. I don't know if you guys have ever had the chance to hear Amy speak, but she's like totally my girl crush in the Zaya world when it comes to speaking. If you were at Summit, you had an opportunity to hear her speak, and it's absolutely incredible. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We're literally I'm just gonna pass the mic on to Amy, and she's gonna get rolling in the next 27 minutes. But for the next 25 minutes, you guys get to be awestruck about numbers. So let me start by saying this. I know some of you guys on here are like, hey, I'm super excited to be here because I love numbers and I want to understand them more. Numbers is my jam. And some of you are like, Ellie, there's not enough wine for the next 25 minutes to get through talking about numbers because you don't care, you don't really like them, it's not your thing. You're excited to see your paycheck, but you really have no idea what it's going to be. And that's okay. But my goal tonight is to help clarify a little bit about how our compensation plan works, because I think there's so much power behind it. So Zaya's compensation plan is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to dig into 4 main points of it, okay? And then a couple of things that I've learned along the way that have helped me tremendously. So first and foremost, let me start by saying you may be here for the rep discount. You may be here to share this brand with friends and family and earn personal commissions and sell to people you meet along the way. That's awesome. You may be here to do both of those things as well as earn a residual income and build a business doing this, okay? So for tonight, any of those options is great. I want to start by saying that. But tonight, specifically for this audience, I'm going to assume that all of you guys are here to build a business. I'm going to assume that's why you're on this phone call and you want to hear about every single way that you can maximize this opportunity, okay? So that's how we're going to talk about it. So first and foremost, I do have a little thing here so I can stay on track with you guys. But one thing that I want to have happen after tonight is I want you guys to be crystal clear on what your goals are. I think one thing that happens in this industry that's oftentimes overlooked or we don't do a great job of is understanding that we have a lot more control over our income and understanding our compensation than we think, okay? So you really can control it more than you probably think you can by knowing input equals output. What do you want your output to be? And what is our input going to look like to make sure that we hit that goal financially? Because as much as we're here for the really cute clothes and the community and the friendships, we're also here to make money, right? I'm assuming that's why a lot of you guys signed up, is because you want to have a significant income with this. So that's what we want to do tonight. We want to get crystal clear on what that looks like and understanding a strategic plan on how to get there. I love numbers. I think knowing your numbers and knowing the compensation plan is one of the strongest tools in this business to help you hit your goals, without question. So first, I'm going to start with what I consider are our 4 main revenue streams, and then where to start, and then a couple fun facts that I've learned along the way that I always questioned, but I didn't really know. So I just called and got some answers to today that I'm going to share with you guys that I think will be helpful. So first, the 4 revenue streams, okay? I break it down into 4 different areas. The first is personal sales, right? We know that we're going to earn an income off of the personal sales that we make. So when you enroll as a Zaya Active Rep, you know that every single transaction that happens through your website, you're making income on, okay? This is a very black and white topic. There's not a lot of room for gray area. We know that as a rep, you make 20% commission on everything that's being sold. So if you're sitting here tonight and somebody makes a $100 purchase while you're on this phone call, which, hello, is a pretty cool part of this business, you're gonna make 20 bucks, right? If you sell $1,000 in a month, or when you sell $1,000 in a month, a lot of you guys know this, Zaya is going to generously tack on an additional 8% commission to everything you've already sold this month, in addition to everything you continue to sell this month. So if you're at that $1,000 PV, you're going to make $28 sitting here on that $100 sale that just happened in a party that you're hosting right now, okay? So that's the first one, is personal sales. Very straightforward, very simple. If your goal in this business is to earn $500 a month through personal sales, we know how to do that, right? Like, we know how to do that. You have to hit $1,800 in personal volume or personal sales. That's going to get you to a $504 paycheck, okay? So what does that look like? You might say, well, yeah, it's easy to say we're going to sell $1,500 or $1,800 to hit $500 in income, but how do I do that? Talk to your upline, talk to your sponsor. There's been so many great calls in this winter training series already about parties and hosting and VIP pages. That's how that's going to happen, okay? I know based on my numbers, if I wanted to hit 1,800, for me, that would probably be my VIP group and 2 to 3 parties during the month to make sure that I know I'm going to hit that goal. So it's not a guessing game. It's not a specific skill set. There's no magic power. We know, do the work to sell $1,800 so you make a $500 paycheck, okay? So you always know input equals output there. One thing I would recommend for anything with personal sales, if you have a team, which includes yourself, you plus one other person, you plus 1,000 other people, make sure that you're always checking those numbers. One thing that happened to me in the beginning of this business was I had somebody on my first line in their first month sell $950. I was brand new, and I didn't check to see how close she was to 1,000 to that 8% override. So what happened was she missed out on $80 in commission by not having a $50 sale. She essentially could have sold 50 bucks or spent 50 bucks for free and still made an additional 30, okay? So make sure you're checking those numbers. Make sure you're always checking those just to be sure. So that's the first. Personal sales is based on 100% of the volume. So again, if you sell something for $100, you're making 20 to 28% on that full $100, okay? It's full retail of what has been sold. The second way to earn income in this business is through team sales. Again, I'm assuming people are here because they want to kind of start up and run a business, or you are running a business. I like to call these mentorship sales. That's not a Zaya word. It's probably something you haven't heard, but here's why. The way that Zaya is set up, if you go and create a community, if you share this opportunity with other people and you are bringing them on board and you are spending time mentoring them and training them and helping them get up and running, helping with their VIP group, maybe helping them run their first couple Facebook parties, Zaya is going to say, hey, cool, you're out doing a lot of this work for us by exposing our brand and bringing on additional sales reps for us, and we're going to compensate you for that, okay? So because you're taking time out of your personal business and your personal sales, we're going to compensate you for growing and mentoring a team. And that's pretty cool too, right? So now we have this other stream of income. If this is something that you really want to turn into a very significant part of your income stream for your family or for yourself, building and mentoring a team is where that's going to happen, okay? And it doesn't happen overnight. But as you continue to do that, what essentially happens is the larger chunk of your paycheck is going to come from all the time that you're spending mentoring a team rather than your personal sales. Now, you should still have personal sales, right? I still try to sell $2,500 a month, which is usually the case, except last month I blacked out and I sold like $800, which I just have to be honest with you guys. But typically I'm selling about $2,500 because that's very important. But I'm at a point in my business now where I'm investing so much time and energy into my team that it's growing, and that's where I'm spending a lot of time. And that is becoming a residual part of my check where it's there every month, and it continues to grow and it continues to compound. That is where the magic of this business is, and it happens fast. You guys are in a crazy place. crazy time with crazy opportunity. There's so much momentum just naturally behind you right now outside of what you're doing that it's going to happen fast if you're doing the daily things and if you're showing up every day consistently. The one thing to note about team commissions, and I think this is where people sometimes get a little bit confused. I'm going to quick do a screen share, is you make, can you guys see this, my screen? Okay, so you're going to make a percentage as you rank advance. So if you're a junior rep, you're going to make 5% on 75% of your group volume. So personal sales, it's based on 100% of your volume. Anything that you make from team sales or mentorship commissions is based on 75% of that total volume. So for example, if you're a junior rep and your first level sells $10,000 in group volume, you're going to make 5% of $7,500, okay? So it's based on 75% of the total. That's what the team mentorship, what I call mentorship commissions, kind of look like. It's very, very lucrative if it's something that you guys are interested in. It's a crazy cool part of the business, and it's where you're really gonna grow that income quickly. Kind of like a hockey stick, right? Anything in direct sales like this, where you're putting in all this time up front, you work, and all of a sudden you start to grow, and then it kind of takes off. The third way is rank advancement bonuses. This is very straightforward. Every time that we rank advance in Zaya, you earn a one-time bonus that goes directly to your checking on the date that you get paid, right? So the 8th or whatever it hits your bank account. The only stipulation on that is junior rep. That $50 bonus for junior rep has to happen within, Christina, I love your outfit. I just noticed it. Does anybody see Christina? Like Santa hat. I don't know if she has her audio on. I don't think she's listening to me, but she looks really cute. So anyways, that bonus, it happens one time, and the junior rep bonus does have to happen within the first 3 months. Any other bonus, there's no time stipulation on. It can happen at any point. And then the fourth way is incentives. I like to include this in our revenue streams, although it's not listed like on your paycheck and you can't necessarily keep track of it. Incentives is a really big revenue stream in this business. So since I've started, and I only share this with you guys to let you know if you're new or if you haven't been here all that long yet, what's possible. I mean, the incentives that I've earned have been like customized Nikes, Apple AirPods, a $500 bonus, a $750 bonus, a $1,000 bonus, a cruise, a trip to Thailand, my flights to Thailand, which I can't go on because I'm 38 weeks pregnant, which is why I'm so out of breath. But that's another revenue stream that I would highly take into consideration because there's so many incentives in this organization, you guys, way more than other organizations. So that's something that, although it's not reflected necessarily on my paycheck, those are all things that are coming in that I like to keep track of because I think it's really important. So those are the 4 revenue streams. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions on it, go ahead and just put it in the comments. And then when I was talking to my team about this, they're like, Leah, compensation sounds great. I hear how to make, I hear I can make all this money, and there's people making $2,000 a month and $7,000 and $20,000, but how do I do that and where do I start? First of all, I wouldn't start in a place where you come into the business and you're like, I'm going to make $10,000 in my second month. Like, that's my goal. If you did, that's amazing. Kudos to you. I think that's awesome. However, this is a business just like anything else. And as a business owner, I think it's really important that we recognize that it does take time to build that up, okay? It takes time to build that. It takes time to get there. So set monthly goals. When I started this, my first goal was to make back my investment, my enrollment investment in the first 30 days. That is something that I have never let go of. So if you have a team, or if you're new, or if you have people that you plan on bringing in the business, or you haven't necessarily made your investment back yet, when I talk to people, my first thing is let's just focus on your first 30 days. You can write down what your 12-month goal is, what your 5-year goal is. That's really great. But let's talk about your first 30 days because we need to break it down so it's not so overwhelming. And that's what we do. So to get that investment back, and I don't say your kit cost or the price of your kit because that kind of has a negative connotation. We're talking about this as your enrollment investment because you're investing $395 to have this business, okay? It's an investment. So we know, I say, hey, in your first 30 days, our goal for you is to hit $1,500 in sales, because that's going to get you $420 in a paycheck. So let's hit $1,500 in sales. That's what we're going to focus on. Now, again, that sounds great, but how do we break that down? They're like, oh, I don't know how to sell $1,500. What do I do? Okay, let's break it down one step further. We're going to have a launch party. And within that first 30 days, outside of your launch party, let's schedule 2 to 3 other events, whether it's in person, it's online, it's a Facebook party, whatever you want it to be. But outside of your launch event, let's schedule 2 to 3 events. I'll give you language. I'll take you some videos on trainings on how to make that happen. But we want to have 4 total events, okay, including your launch. So that's the first thing in the first 30 days. Second, in that first 30 days, let's talk about, if it's a goal of somebody's to make this a business and grow a team and build a community of other people, let's talk about adding 1 to 3 business partners into your business in the first 30 days. Okay. And that sounds overwhelming, right? Because for some people, recruiting is like crazy hard. But I believe that between the leaders that you guys are, the leaders that we all have, the resources out there, there's enough training and there's enough that we can equip people to know how to do it. We can give them all of the resources. We can take all of the resources to hit our financial goals. It's just a matter of if we want to do it or not. So we're going to say, hey, so launch party, 2 to 3 events to hit that 1,500 PV. Plus we're going to talk about 1 to 3 other people that you think would rock this with you. Who are some people that come to mind when you think about wanting to run this business, wanting to succeed with, wanting to have a transparent conversation, an honest conversation about why you joined, wanting to travel with someday? Who are people that come to mind? And let's get some business partners. One thing that I know for sure, I have not recruited a ton of people, probably 50 in my time. I don't recruit a ton per month, but I'm very, very consistent with between 2 to 3 a month, is that when somebody starts and they have the success of getting their enrollment investment back and seeing a $400 paycheck in their first 30 days, when they get that immediate gratification, that is so impactful, because they're like, I made my kick cost or my investment back in the first 30 days plus some additional income. And then if they have 1 to 3 business partners that they add in their first 30 days, there's going to be a small part of their check that's reflected from what their team has done and from the work that they've invested in those people. If you can get people a little taste of that in the beginning of how generous this compensation plan is, that is going to help them get off to a very fast start. And if you're in your 6th or 7th month and you haven't recruited somebody, or you haven't necessarily had the sales you wanted, you can do that. You can create a plan. You can be very strategic about your next 30 days to make that happen and see how it feels. See if you like it. See if it changes something in your business or how you view the business. But I do think that that's an incredibly important piece of it, is getting people a little taste of how that feels. And then a couple of fun facts for you guys. This one's not that fun, but it's a question I get all the time. If somebody ends their month negatively, so if they don't sell anything and they have some returns from the month before, they say, well, what now? What happens? What will happen is in your next positive commission check, you will pay back those commissions on the returns in your next positive checks until you're back to kind of break even. Does that make sense? Not super fun. You guys probably aren't in the negative very often, but it happens. And now you can at least be equipped to share that with people. So that's how that works. I got that question like 3 times today, so I wanted to be clear on it. Let's see, what else did I learn today? Okay, so this is something that I learned also, and I think it's something that a lot of people are confused on. So when you enroll, right, you get this rep discount of 25%, which from a compensation perspective, I don't use the rep discount. I wait until I have my own event set up where I'm getting 50% off items, because for me, like in a business sense, that makes way more sense. I'm going to say 50%. I'm going to use my rewards when I have them. If I don't have them, maybe I'll splurge. Like if that Sherpa thing comes out tomorrow, I'll probably buy it. But usually I try not to, okay? I'm not using my rep discount a lot. You don't earn commission on it, obviously, because they're already giving you 25% off. However, as an upline, you are still earning the appropriate amount of commission you would as if that were a regular sale, okay? So if you have somebody on your first line who's using their rep discount all the time, you're still making that 5% on where they use their rep discount. Does that make sense? I thought that was super cool. I think that's really generous. My first couple months assumed that wasn't a thing, but you are still making commissions as the upline. As an upline, your paid commissions 10 levels down, which is laid out pretty clear in that chart. And then lastly, there's 3 numbers that are pretty imperative in the business. That's 200, 600, and 1,000. And the 200 has a little asterisk by it, and I'll show you guys why. But in order to qualify for your commissions, you have to hit 200 PV, okay? It doesn't have to be 200 commissionable volume. Pretty much everything I've talked about tonight is based on PV, okay? That main PV number, qualified personal volume. So in order to qualify for your commissions, you have to have 200 PV per month. Now, I've also made a pretty big error here once in my Zaya career, so I'm going to show you guys this. In order to get paid at the level you're at, so let's say you are a director. In order to get paid as a director, you have to have $500 in PV. Okay, that qualifies you to get paid as a director. So I, 1 month, was trying to hit executive. I actually blacked out 2 months of my Zaya career, and I think I was at like 588 in sales. I don't know what happened. It doesn't matter. But I missed executive because I did not have $600 in PV. Okay, so it's 200 as a rep, as a junior rep, and as you go up, if you want to continue getting paid at the level you're at, that's the number that you have to qualify to hit, okay? So we say 200 a lot, but it's really these numbers depending on where you're at. The next 2 numbers, $600 is to avoid the website fee. So we know that there's a $15 website fee after the first, is it 2 or 3 months? I don't know. But there's a $15 website fee, and as long as you sell $600 PV per month, that's going to be waived. So I've never paid it except for that one weird month, I hit 588. But something to keep in mind, like that's a non-negotiable fine. If I'm running this like a business, if I'm treating it like a business, I'm going to hit the 600. And then that last number is 1,000. So that $1,000 is going to be the point where, again, Zaya tacks on an extra 8% commission on everything you've already sold in the month and everything you continue to sell. So keep those numbers at the forefront. If you guys go into, like, if you have a team, you can go into your downline and you can run a report by PV in like ascending or descending order. Just run it the last day of the month. And if you have somebody, if you see like 800, 900, 7, if you see any of those numbers, just reach out, make sure that people know, because you'd be shocked. A lot of times they don't know, or maybe their upline didn't mention it. But just something that you can do as a business owner and as a leader. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys. I know it's kind of basic, but if you guys have any like in-depth questions on if you're at a certain rank and you're trying to hit a certain income goal, let me know. But I do tell people when they start this business, the first thing I ask them is, what's your goal? Okay, so we talk about their why. Their why is very important, but I do think in addition to the why, we have to know financially what they're trying to do here, okay? Because that's a really big part of it. So if they say, like when I joined, I said, Ellie, shoot me straight, what do you make every month? My first goal is to cover my mortgage payment. And she told me, and we talked about how to make that happen, and we did in like the 2nd or 3rd month. And then I reset my goal. I said, okay, based on where I'm at, I know I want to grow 15 to 20% each month. How do I do that? Let's break it down. Well, how many more people do I need to mentor to make that happen? How many team calls do I have to do? How many events do I have to have? I guess my point is, again, a lot of times I think we look up, we look at the people who started at the same time of us who are having a major success. We've got people on our sidelines. We've got people everywhere, and we can look at what they're doing. We can hear the kind of money they're making, but just be very aware that you have a lot more control than you think. And this is still a day-by-day thing. So although we say, hey, you can join this company now and have a $20,000 paycheck in your 18-month in, you can do that. For sure, you can do that. But along with that, there's daily consistent things that have to be happening. and you have to know what your goals are, and you have to know what the input is to equal that output. Because if you don't, you lose control, and it kind of gets gray, and it kind of gets messy, and then people just become unmotivated. So again, I love numbers. I think it's so much fun. It's my absolute favorite part of the business. So if you guys have questions, or if you want to do a one-on-one call and kind of review your numbers, let me know. We can pull up your back office. But that's what I have for you guys. My water didn't break, and I'm still breathing. So that's a really good thing. But again, let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, do I wear a pocket? Pocket protector, like nerds. No, but I should. Should wear a different kind of protector right now. I'm a hot mess over here, this baby. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amy. And again, you guys, Amy, I'm sure she'll introduce herself, but she's absolutely phenomenal. If your team isn't on here, text her right now and tell them to get on the call. Text your neighbors if they're not part of Zaya. It'll be worth it. But Amy, without further ado, I'm going to mute myself and turn it over to you.
Yay! Thanks, Leah. And I'm so happy that your water didn't break, because I was kind of freaking out about that today. Okay, guys. So again, yeah, we are going to talk about time management, which is a little bit ironic because I am a talker, so I'm going to keep things within that time constraint. If I haven't met you yet, I'm excited that we get to change that tonight. My name's Amy Ward, Amy from Arkansas. That's really all you need to know. I am a mom and a group fitness instructor. And why the heck am I even qualified to talk to you about time management in the first place? So when I started this business, I started it, I think I've been in for 18 months. I haven't been in for 2 years yet. We make jokes about it because I'm too busy, I guess you could say, to even sit there and count the months, and I'm bad with numbers. But Leah's inspired me to be better and to be more on top of that. But when I got started with this business, I actually said yes to Zaya in probably the busiest season of my life. So I'm not going to make you do math. Now I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I was teaching 15 group fitness classes a week. I was a master trainer for Beachbody Live, and I was traveling at least 2 weekends out of the month, and my husband had started a new job and he was gone for training. So things were insane, to say the least. Oh, and until 2.5 months ago, my kids were never in formal daycare. They were stage 5 clingers, and they were with me at all times. So that's to say that if I can make it happen, anybody can make it happen. And we have experienced exponential growth, and it has been just a crazy ride so far. So I get asked that a lot, like, how did you make it happen? In 15-minute blocks, so 15-minute chunks. And the thing is, you don't need to have an hour, right? So I am somebody that, well, reformed. I'm a reformed perfectionist because Zaya has pushed me out of my comfort zone. I don't have time to be a perfectionist. So if I can leave you with one thing, even starting at the beginning, the one thing I want you to get out of this is that done is better than perfect when it comes to time management, because perfection doesn't exist and action cures just about everything, okay? So instead of spending all of your time planning and worrying if it's good enough, action is better than that preparation. So just know that showing up consistently, even if it's C+ effort, because life is crazy, is better than inconsistently showing up with A+ effort. Okay. So I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration, depending on what your crazy busy schedule is. My schedule's still pretty busy. So I get told that all the time too, or kind of asked that, like, will you do it full time? Zaya now at this point is my primary source of income, but I still don't do it full time. I do other things, and I have other time commitments. So I am not working this business 40 hours a week. My days are spread out. That's, I guess, the benefit of being a fitness instructor, is that I'm not in a traditional work setting. So I can break up my days a little bit more. And that's going to come That's going to be personal for you. I can't tell you where you can put your 15 minutes. You're going to have to figure that out. And we are going to do 3 things. So right now, get out pen and paper. I hope you have one. If you don't, get it out now. Or if you're on your phone, go into the notes. Unless you're driving, then definitely don't do that. Okay? So we're going to talk about income producing behaviors and what that means for you with time management. So I want you to do one thing right now. I want you to write down the thing about Zaya that you're most excited about right now. It could be the teddy bear, hoodie, sweater thing coming out tomorrow. It doesn't have to be big, okay? So I want you to do that right now. Just whatever's on your heart, do that. And I want you to write down 3 people that you need to talk to about Zaya. Either you've been meaning to talk to them about it, it's a hostess you need to follow up with, it's somebody, whatever. 3 people that you need to talk to about Zaya. And then you have to do one more thing for me, and that is write down tomorrow. Look at tomorrow. I know I'm taking you all over the place. We don't have a lot of time. So I want you to think about tomorrow, and I want you to find a 15-minute block in your schedule. Maybe you set your alarm 15 minutes earlier. Maybe you take 15 minutes of your lunch break. Maybe you get in car line 15 minutes early to pick your kids up, whatever it is. Find your 15 minutes, right? Because I think that a lot of times an hour feels overwhelming. I have little kids hanging off of me at all times, okay? Like, to sit down uninterrupted for an hour is not realistic to me. And I think that thinking that I have to have a whole hour to complete something is intimidating. I feel like I'm gonna fail before I even start, and that keeps me from acting. But everybody's got 15 minutes. Even if you're at work in a shift work situation, you can find 15 minutes. You can find one 15-minute block. So if you did that 4 times a day, maybe before you went to work, at lunch, mid-afternoon, or at night before you went to bed, that was an hour. You have 40 15-minute blocks in a 10-hour Zaya work week. And so if it's a focused 15 minutes, that's going to be better than a distracted hour. Because I don't know, let me know, seriously, if you, and I'm so blind and I should have worn my glasses, but if you have questions, comment them. Make sure that you wrote those things down, because that's going to be your homework. We are going to do that stuff tomorrow in your 15-minute block. Okay? Well, part of it. We're going to do part of that tomorrow in your 15-minute block. We're going to talk about what that 15-minute block should look like. And here's what I'm going to tell you. It should not look like scrolling social media and pretending that you are working. Okay. And I know, oh my gosh, sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, but there's one other thing that I want you to take. I'm just kidding. I got like 20 things I want you to take out of this, but here's the next thing I want you to take out of this, okay, is that busy is not productive. Busy and productive are not the same thing. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be busy for no reason. And busy isn't really attractive, right? Who wants to talk to somebody that's too busy for anything? I don't. And I don't want that to come across in the communication that I have with people. So I want to be focused and I want to be productive. And ultimately what that does is it allows me to be more present when my kids are around, instead of trying to do 5 different things at once, because also that doesn't work out well either. I feel like I've worked all day and then I have not been effective. I've just been busy, and busy Amy is stressed Amy. And especially going into the holidays, I think that is so important. So I am a huge fan of Eric Worre and his book, Go Pro. And a lot of those tips come from him. And then also Ray Higdon. He is awesome. Anything he says is like pure gold in my opinion. So here's the thing. If you can, take Sunday night, take 1 day a week, or whatever time that you have, and do it consistently, where you map out what your week is going to look like. So successful people operate off of a calendar instead of a to-do list. To-do list, super overwhelming, yes? But if you have something scheduled on your calendar, and this applies to workouts too, you have that natural accountability to it. You also don't have anything to feel guilty for if you say, hey, can you watch the kids for 15 minutes? hey, I'm going to sit here for 15 minutes. You can give yourself 15 minutes. You owe it to yourself, and you owe that to your business. Okay. So that's something else I want you to keep in mind with time management. If it feels easy, and when I say easy, I don't mean comfortable. Okay. So I still want you to be uncomfortable, because that is going to help you grow. But uncomfortable and stressed are also two different things. So if it feels easy, like you could do it every day, you could make it happen, even if, like, I don't know, the sink exploded and all the things went wrong, you could still find 15 minutes to get stuff done. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what needs to happen in that 15 minutes. Now, in an ideal situation, we could do everything and follow up with all the people, and yeah, you would be working in that hour or in that 9 to 5 setting. But I want to talk to you about this, and I think it's so important that your focus needs to be on income producing activities. So what does that look like? It does not, let's talk about what it doesn't look like. It does not look like scrolling social media and laughing at memes. I love memes. I love finding the perfect GIF or GIF to send to everybody, but that is not, that's not productivity. It doesn't look like tweaking a graphic. On my perfectionists out there, it doesn't look like tweaking a graphic, one graphic for 15 minutes when there's an entire Zaya Marketing Designs group full of awesome content. Don't feel like you need to reinvent the wheel. So we are going to talk about best practices on the second half of this. And that's something I want you to keep in mind, even with your own time management. I still operate in these confines because I'm bringing people onto my team that are working 2 or 3 other jobs, that don't have time. And I think that that's one of the most important things that you can do for yourself in this business, to stay authentic when you are bringing people into the opportunity, and to keep yourself real as a mentor. And I say this, I train fitness instructors. It's never forget what it feels like to be brand new, or what it felt like when things were hard or when things were different, because that is going to allow you to connect with your people, and that needs to be at the forefront. But back to those income producing activities. So what does it look like? It looks like expanding your network, reaching out to people. I don't mean spending an hour crafting the perfect social media post. I mean, like, texting your friends. I mean, reaching out. If cold messaging is your thing, or someone's been commenting on your stuff, reaching out, talking to people, sending messages. And when I say sending messages, I don't mean copy and paste and just blast because you feel stressed. I mean, take the time to make an authentic connection with 3 people. You have more time? Cool. Do it with 4 or 5. Follow up with customers, follow up with hostesses. Focus on that income producing activity. If you have a party going on right now, that's what you need to be focusing on. So even these calls, all of the stuff in the groups, we're going to talk about personal development here in a second too. All of that stuff is amazing, and it's essential to your business if you have the time for it, if you've already taken care of your priorities. Because if you only have a certain amount of time, and you had an hour in your day and you're only listening to this call, get off right now and go message people and talk to people. It feels like in this business, even for me, because I want to show up for people, sometimes it feels like you're drinking from a fire hose, and sometimes it feels like you're drinking from a fire hydrant. But I want you to remember that you are the owner of your business. You are the one that's in control. You're in control of that information. So it's about making that time for yourself, setting that time aside. So maybe that means you show up for 1 call a week, and you catch the replay on the other ones when you're driving in the car. Or maybe you don't miss those. Either way, whatever that is for you, no guilt there either. You have to make that plan. You have to stick to your commitments, and you have to stick to your boundaries. So a big part of time management is honoring those boundaries. So I recommend that you set your day up with a calendar, and that you work off of that calendar instead of a to-do list, so that you feel focused, you feel effective, and you do not feel overwhelmed. Okay, so what I want you to do right now on that note is get your phone out, or if you're on your computer right now, I want you to, we've got 3 minutes, okay? I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes. and you are going to go message 3 people right now. Right now, do it. And I did this in my group. So I actually did a 10-minute power session based off of something Ellie produced, which was like totally awesome because Ellie's awesome, and tweaked it a little bit to how it works for my day. And I went live and we all did it together. So 3 minutes starts now. I'm going to do it too, because I would never ask somebody to do something that I'm not willing to do. So I am going to follow up with 3 people. And you know what? I bet it doesn't even take the 3 minutes. All right. So, and it's even more helpful if you have a list going on. So I need to get my parties closed out so that I can qualify for that bonus. So I'm going to message a hostess. About her rewards. I was trying to hunt down a Dream Big sweatshirt for somebody, so I'm going to follow up with her. Even if you're just getting the conversation started, it doesn't have to be a novel. I had someone show interest on a post today that I know I need to reach back out to. So I'm saying, hey girl, I saw that you interacted on that post about the starter kit. Do you have any questions? Or can I send you more info? Period. We have a whole minute left. You got a whole minute left. Dang, Ellie, beating everybody. Dun, dun, dun. And if you're watching the recording also, because that's important, you have to do it too, because we blocked that time out. That's what we did. Because the most important thing that you can do is talk to people and take care of those parties. If you had a party going on. 30 seconds. Should be doing more, but you know. And the key here too, well, I'm not going to talk because I want you deserve to be focused and I'm going to distract you. We got 10 seconds. We're done. Okay, so here's the deal. Even if you only messaged one person, that was probably one more person than you were going to message today, right? Or you did it sooner and now you freed up more time for something else that you wanted to do on your list. So something is better than nothing. That's great. That's great, Cheryl. That's awesome. It's not about that. So, okay, there we go. We got that taken care of. Now let's talk about best practices. And I want to tie that into time management. So I want you to think big picture for your business. And if you heard me speak at Summit, you have to show up today, even if you are one person, you have to show up as the leader that you want to be if you had 1,000 people following you, okay? So when you make decisions, you have to make decisions for your future self too. So what I want you to get out of this is that, or this section of it, is that if you can't duplicate what you're doing, then it doesn't matter. So if you can't teach somebody else to do it and them do it effectively, it's irrelevant. You need to be focusing on the behaviors that you can duplicate, that other people can duplicate too. Okay. So actually in this business, like your special sauce isn't being like the most amazing Beyonce rock star, because that is not relatable. Your strength in this business is being relatable. is doing the work, and doing the work, not trying to cheat the system, doing the work as if you were setting the example for your team. So every single thing that you do, you are the example. It's like your business is your baby. And I don't mean to say it like this, but this is how I feel. Like I'm a very like mama bear person. Like I just have those instincts in me. And so I'm like mama bear to my team, and your kids are watching you do stuff. It's kind of the same thing. So whether you told them to go do it or not, they're watching you. They're looking to you as the guide, as the compass for the things that you do. So everything that you say and everything that you do matters. And this applies to you whether it's day one or day however many you've been in this. It doesn't matter, because you have to think in terms of the future team. So if you're doing the most and working 50 hours a week and you're losing money, then that's what your team is going to do. And that's not good. That's not a good practice. So what you want to focus on, the most important thing that you can do is find something that is sustainable, that you can do consistently. Consistency beats out anything over time. Anything over time. Even if somebody has a crazy amazing $20,000 month, there's a really good chance that they're not going to do it the next month. And if they do, eventually it's not sustainable, because something has to suffer. And I think that I know the reason that we do this business is that it's fun. So if it stops being fun, go back and find why it was fun. Go back, and whether it's because you're excited about, I don't know, like I really love this hoodie. I'm in it for the hoodie. I'm in it for that feeling. So whatever that is for you, go back to the part of it that was fun. It is supposed to be fun. The whole point is that you're not chained to a desk working a 9 to 5, and you have freedom to do those things and the ability to earn a crazy amount of money for helping other people do what you do. So if you are going to be successful in this business and you're going to grow a team, you are going to have to help other people do what you do. So keep that in mind. Set that example, lead by example. And that doesn't mean ignore your family and work 1,000,000 hours a week and answer text messages at 1 a.m. Boundaries, set them. They're good. That's a good practice. So I was really competitive as a master trainer, and we have ranks and we had all these crazy things. And one thing that my manager said to me was that you have to honor your boundaries as much as you honor your goals, because your boundaries protect the rest of your life. And that's important. So I want you to set some non-negotiables for things that really matter to you, that even if you sold $1 million on whatever date, would it really be, if you sold $1 million, if you had the intention to like sell $1 million worth of boyfriend sweaters, or you only ended up selling $10 worth, would the decision still be the same? Would you still be happy with yourself? That's important. So if I'm going to ignore my kids for this amount of time because I think that I'm just going to make this money and I'm going to be miserable and whatever, and it doesn't work out that way, am I still going to feel good about myself? Am I still going to feel good about that decision? And I think that that's really important too, because there can't be shame in this business. Like, you have to own it and be proud of that with your decisions. Okay, so that's important. Duplication, consistency, and with that, you have to show up in some capacity every single day. You have to show up in your VIP groups. You have to show up on social media to beat the algorithm. If you've heard me talk before, I talk about the algorithm like it's the Matrix, but seriously, you have to show up. You have to show up for your future team, even if they're not there yet. You have to show up for them. And sometimes that may mean showing up for you, okay? So showing up, consistently showing up, and making sure that whatever you're doing, somebody on day one could learn and could duplicate. All right, so perfectionism is the enemy of this business and action is the cure. So write down right now, take your pen back out, and I want you to write down, I'm good enough. Do it right now. I'm not even kidding. And I'm committed to being better. If you can do anything that makes you better today than you were yesterday, even the tiniest thing. Maybe it's that you went and drank like another glass of water. I don't know. You were better, okay? And that's what we have to focus on. That's what we have to celebrate. So I hope that we're gonna shift gears a little bit on that note too. So everything you're doing is setting an example. You have to, and I'm gonna get into some details for how to maximize your earnings also, but I think that this is really important too, to setting that foundation. If you wanna have a healthy business, you have to have a healthy body and a healthy mind. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to do personal development every single day. And if you're like, Amy, you just told me 15 minutes. That's not an income producing activity. Your income producing activities are going to suck if you are stressed out and you're pouring from an empty cup. 10 minutes. Don't go down the personal development rabbit hole. 10 minutes and then take action on one of those things. So maybe it's just about showing appreciation, something to get your mind right. Maybe it's just 10 minutes earlier. We're 10 minutes before bed and you are just focusing on things that you appreciate, okay? So you have to do that. You have to be committed to it. And especially this time of the year, it's the hardest because I'm a mom. I'm sure a lot of you are moms, whether you are or not. Most of us are women here. And I think that it's safe to say that we tend to put our needs last on the list. So you have to show up for yourself in that capacity for you. And ultimately, you are pouring back into your business. Right now, your business is your baby, right? So what do we tell mamas with new babies? That you need to take that minute for yourself and you need to go shower. So I'm not naming any names. No, I'm kidding. I showered for this. So anyway, but if that's your thing, if you need to go shower, whatever that is, that's going to fill your cup up just a little bit. Okay. And that's something else I want to talk to you about. So starve yourself to feed your business. This was something that Natalie Robison said forever ago. And sorry, oh, good. I haven't ran over yet. Okay. So Natalie Robison said this forever ago and I love it. And it's something that stuck with me. So what does that look like? Maybe it looks like instead of buying new releases for yourself every week and maxing out and using all those hostess credits, hey, it's your prerogative, it's your business. Maybe that looks like using those hostess credits for giveaways in your group or for incentives for your team. You don't have to buy every single new release every week. And going back to that whole your team is your baby and looking up to you, then that means they think that they have to buy every single new release to be successful because they're defining you as success. And I want you to protect your money. I want you to feel awesome about it and be excited instead of feeling like you're in the hole. And then now we need Marie Kondo in here to like clean out your 2,000 pairs of black leggings. You know what I'm saying? So that can get a little crazy too. So I want you to think about that. And maybe starve yourself, feed your business looks like not watching Grey's Anatomy anymore. I don't know, whatever that is, whatever it is. Maybe it's that that you work on your phone while you're getting a pedicure, whatever that is, whatever you've got going on, and whatever that means to you, think about that. Think about some way that you could pour back into your business a little bit more if you are feeling that lack, okay? Let's talk about party links though. And let's talk about using those to maximize your business. So I look at things, I think probably from a little bit different perspective than Leah does, because I am not like super numbers driven in that sense, which is awesome. It's awesome because that's something else that I want you guys to all know is that there is no one single way to do this business that is the catch-all be-all. You make it work for you. You're partnering with something. At the end of the day, it really is you, and you are that product. And also that's why you have to make sure that you're pouring into yourself, because people are going to want to work with you and people are going to want to buy from you and they're going to want to show up because you're showing up. So if you get to that point where you feel like you can't, then that is definitely counterproductive. But back on the party links. So I think that you should make sure that you have a party link open for yourself at all times, no matter what. Instead of using my rep discount or using my hostess rewards on those parties, I actually purchase at full retail. I purchase at full retail because I want you to, again, to go back and think about that big picture with your business. When you do have all of this going on and things are more intense and you are trying to reach those goals, when you are purchasing at full price, you can run it through a party link, which means you can get more rewards. You're also going to get yourself to those benchmarks quicker. So you're going to get yourself to the $200 faster because you're doing it at basically a 25% faster rate when you're doing that. So you're going to get to 200 faster. You're going to get to $600 faster. Ultimately, what I want for you, I want you to get to that $1,000 faster so that you can get that additional 8% commission override on all of the other things. So I'm committed to getting that $1,000. So that's why I do that. And then also, I have those hostess rewards that I can use to reward my reps or to reward my customers, or I can raffle them off as a mystery hostess because I don't want you to give away all of your money. But I was using my rep discount in the wrong way in the beginning when we were figuring things out and things were crazy in the beginning. Because everybody was still figuring it out. And hey guys, newsflash, we're all still figuring it out and we're all still adjusting. So we've got to link arms and do that together. But that is something that I did. And that affects your lifetime personal volume. So if you're trying to reach that $10,000, you're committed to getting to director and you are purchasing a lot of stuff, so even if you're offering a discount to somebody, you're better off to purchase it at full price instead of at the discounted price. Owe yourself, be committed to that if that's something that you're willing to commit to. Now, if you are just doing this as a hobby to get the discount on the clothes, do the math on it, see if it works out with what you're buying. But ultimately, it's still a better deal to purchase at retail and get those rewards through the party link over the 5%, okay? Over the 25%. It still works out better in the long run. So I hope that that's helpful. You also need to go in and look at your parties. So let's say you have a party that's at $500 and it's not going to get to $600. Go in and look at those orders that could be moved over into your other party. Keep racking those hostess credits up for yourself. If they're at $1,100 and it's not enough, find $100 or close to $100 worth of order numbers in there, email customer service on the order with the order number and the party number, party ID, and get it moved over there before the end of the month. So we are at the end of the month. Start doing that right now. Maybe that's what you do after we get off here tonight. Go look at anything that can be moved around. Don't let it go to waste because $1,000 adds up really, really quickly. And especially if you're new, I don't want you to spend money to give stuff away. I want you to maximize on your investment and to see that return on investment as soon as you can. So that's something else too. Let's say you are starving your business, you're starving yourself and feeding your business. You have that $200 gift card that you get in your starter kit. Think about what you could do with that. Think about what your reps could do with that. Maybe they could portion it off and offer up the code for free shipping or something like that. But I don't believe in going into debt on the front end of this. And one of the most appealing things about this business is that we aren't required to carry inventory. So don't go in the negative and be making no money by the time you incentivize your team and do giveaways in your VIP groups. So be smart about that. We are coming up on a lot of flash sales, right, for Black Friday. And this is something that I told my team yesterday. We talked about it. So I want you to, first and foremost, you need to, and this is something that Natalie Robeson said too, from I probably creeped videos from way back and forever when I came on. And it's one of those things that stuck with me. You need to protect your rep discount. Do not give people 25% off. If they want 25% off, they can become a rep. So it should never be that full discount. You signed up for it. You have done that. Okay. So if you are going to do flash sales, the way that I I like to do flash sales is more like a Kohl's Cash or Express kind of thing, where if you buy this today, then you get a $10 gift card to use before February 1st. Yeah. So instead of being out money, I got them to commit to one purchase. And then also I just got a follow-up purchase, and I got a reason, like an easy reason, a non-awkward reason to follow up with them, because now I can message them that week before and be like, hey, your gift card's going to expire. Do you want to spend it? Yeah, so I think that those are good ideas instead of being out money on those things. So this is another, just another thought. Like if you are going to owe yourself that and you are taking your business seriously as a business, which you should be, that's pretty much the premise of Eric's book, Go Pro, is that are you treating yourself as a professional or as an amateur? Is this a business? Are you a business owner or are you an amateur? The answer is you are a professional. So act accordingly with that. Also, with that being said, as far as like boundaries and best practices, unless they're overseas, like, I don't know, people are not answering my real customer service questions at 2 a.m. Okay. So keep that in mind too. You can have those boundaries. You can set those boundaries with your customers. At some point, you do have to train your customers also. And that ties into this. If you are consistently doing flash sales and giveaways at the end of the month, you are training your customers to wait. You're training them to wait till the end of the month. If you're constantly running flash sales with discounts off, they know that you are going to do it eventually and they will wait. And that is not what you want. That's not what you want. So that's why I recommend the gift card or $150 and you get a bomber bra or a beanie. Keep adding into your business. Keep feeding your business. And if you are a leader and you have a smaller team, even if you don't, give them Zaya gift cards. Feed back into your business. They can use those gift cards as giveaways in their parties. Okay? Like, don't go commission to have something made that says Zaya Active Independent Rep on it when they just got started and you spent $30 by the time shipping came around. Go spend $15. Feedback into your business, into their business, into the whole organization. And when you're new in Zaya, you want all the things. So, and you can also tell them that they can use that for whatever they want. You can purchase it underneath their account if you want to also. And I think that that's a really smart way to do things so that you are seeing that big return on investment and you're not giving your whole paycheck away either, because you work hard for that. You've earned it. And here's something else that I want to leave you with. If you lead with a discount, people don't believe you. Like, I know that sounds crazy and you're like, what do you mean? What do they not believe? Like, they just don't believe you. It's like, well, why? Now I'm skeptical because the price was already good. The price point is already good. And ultimately what they get by purchasing that is you. I don't know if you've ever tried on leggings at Walmart or at TJ Maxx or at Target. Nobody gives a crap about whether you liked those leggings or not, whether they look good on you, whether they're a good fit. Like, you are a virtual personal shopper. Okay. And so that's what they get. They get amazing customer service and you're building those relationships. So don't feel like you need to discount the business. Don't feel like you need to discount anything because you don't need to discount yourself. Okay. Hang on. Let me see. Brandy. Okay. You feel like you get this question a lot because Zaya doesn't cover this fee. Do I just set this boundary that I don't pay on what? I'm sorry, Brandy. What fee? For shipping on returns. Okay, so here is what you need to do. And actually, I don't have a great way to send that to you. Okay, so paypal.com/shiplabel/create. You can make your own labels on PayPal and send back first class. It should be like $4 or $5. You will not be spending $12 to $15. Don't go to the post office. You can send it to your people if you want to. So this is just me personally. I'm just sharing, for shipping on returns in Canada. I thought that exchanges in Canada were covered now. So for me in the US, I do not pay return shipping on something that's not an exchange unless they are like a loyal customer. Sorry. Because I'm going to do everything that I can to try and exchange it. And that is something, Brandy, that you need to do, is look at how much you can afford to spend on that. So PayPal, I'll type it out, actually. I think I can. I think I can. Ship label create. I think this will work. I have it saved on my phone. So you can just print labels without doing a major order, and it's discounted even to what the post office is. So I just have customers, I have a kitchen scale and I've weighed leggings, so I kind of know. I overestimate. If you do happen to underestimate on it, the cool thing is, like, PayPal is just like, hey, you didn't pay enough, pay an extra 50 cents, and then you do, and nothing comes back, and it's not weird. So I actually have, I think I can share it in Zaya Life. Maybe I did a recording on how to do those labels, but that's been something that has helped me, because as a mom with my stage 5 clinger kids on me at all times, going to the post office is a nightmare. And I know it's a nightmare for a lot of my customers. So I do that. That's something that I cover, especially on the exchanges. I send them that label. They can tape it back up in the Zaya bag and you can put it in your mailbox and put the flag up, and the mailman will get it if you had mail delivered. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Because I know I did. I went too long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's so much to say. There's always so much to say. Okay. Any questions? Okay, Kayla. So Kayla asked, does it let you change the sender address? It lets you enter the zip code that it's going to be shipped from. Awesome. Thank you so much. And Natalie, if that's okay, I can post that video in Zaya Life also. Thanks, guys. You are awesome, and Leah's amazing, and we all needed that so much. Have a super happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.